Good evening and welcome to St Lomans Park Trim for this evening's Keypack Mead Ladies GFA Junior C Championship semi-final between Trim and Senchlestown. The referee, Mr. Tom Lorton from Simonstown, is just in the middle of the field there, trying to encourage the teams to take their positions. They're just going through their final team talks. Senchlestown just away to my right hand side here, just breaking into the position. And Trim are still in the dugout on the far side of the field there, getting the last words of wisdom from their manager, Mr. John Ferry. The teams this evening are as follows. Trim in goals, number 1, Jodie Levy. Full-back line, 2, Emily O'Brien. Full-back and captain, Kate Dunn. Cornerback wearing number 4, Sophie Purcell. Half-back line for Trim, number 5, Ellen Dennis. 6, Isabel Varley. 7, Aoife Slattery. In midfield, Trim wearing number 8, Rachel McCormick, and number 9, Anna Bulger. Half forward line, number 10, Sophia Maguire. 11, Lauren Fagan, and number 12, Avine Short. Full forward line, 13, Aoife McDonnell. 14, Shona White, and 15, Katie Newman. The Senchlestown team line up as follows. In goals, number 1, Sinead McLarney. Number 2, Catherine Smith. Number 3, Aisling Taff. 4, Orla McMahon. 5, Leah Ryan. 6, Aoife Lenihan. 7, Anya Nangle. 8, Tara Trainer. 9, Robin Murray. Half forward line, number 10, Ava Jane Ryan. 11, Ruth Commons. 12, Charlie Murray. 13, full forward line, Kelly Smith. 14, Grania Gordon. And 15, Shauna Fitzgerald. We are just about to go here. Just get my stopwatch ready, and we are underway. The referee throws the ball in. The ball breaking there, fighting in the midfield is Anna Bulger. Wins possession, plays the ball out to the wing towards Avine. Short. Avine stows down the play, has a look, takes a solo, turns back inside. Two players on her. Good tackling there from the Senchlestown backs into Lauren. Lauren pops the ball back to Avine. Avine in towards Shona. Shona pops the ball off. Who's this? Katie Newman, I think, is it? Katie hand passes the ball in, but the ball is intercepted by Anya Nangle. I think Anya is fouled. It's a free out for Senchlestown. A long ball down the middle of the field. The ball bounces. Isabel Varley comes onto it, takes the ball on, turns onto her left foot, pops the ball off to Aoife. Aoife again onto Avine. Avine running hard. She's tackled. 15 from Senchlestown has come out. Seems to be playing around the middle of the field. Plays the ball across the field to Avine, soloing sideways. Turned back again. A good tackle. She's forced to go back. Trim forced to be patient here at the early stages. Senchlestown tackling very well. Lauren Fagan. Ooh, she got ordered a free there. Bit soft. It looked like Lauren got bottled up. Anna Bulger getting ready to take the free. Knocks the ball in towards Shona. Oh, and the referee's penalised Shona for pushing the back of the full back there. That was a little bit soft, but okay, so the team's getting themselves ready. Senchlestown playing with the wind the first half. It's blowing down towards the town end of the park here, so I'm surprised to see them dropping players back behind the ball. Senchlestown running forward. Anna Bulger. Ooh, Anna Bulger was awarded a free there. It was the Senchlestown player, number 12. Charlie Murray put her feet in, but I think Anna was off her knees, so technically I'm not sure that should have been a free, but Trim settle things down with Isabel Varley. Isabel plays the ball out to this near side. And the Aisling Taff, the Senchlestown full-back, playing way down the field, pops the ball on to Ruth Commons. One more pass over there. Senchlestown breaking nicely. There's a shot on here, and that's the first score of the game to Senchlestown after 2 minutes. Sorry, the wind is causing a bit of havoc here with me. I mean, notes are flying all over the place. So Jodie with a low kick out, plays the ball towards Aoife Slattery. Again, a low ball. Trying to work the ball low, maybe against the breeze, but that ball is turned over. And again, Senchlestown looking lively with a few balls that have been inside of their forwards. At this stage, they're working the ball down the far sideline. I'm not sure what's happened. They're still playing. The referee, I think the players got confused with a whistle from the far pitch. but the ball is intercepted there and it's worked to Isabel Varley. Isabel with her left foot, nice pass into the middle of the field towards Rachel McCormick. Rachel moves on, she's got Avian Short in front of her, plays the ball, she makes the overlap run, can get it back to her, she can indeed. Rachel gets the ball, has to turn back onto her right, she's been patient, plays the ball off to Anna Bulger. Anna looks up, Aoife McDonald is free there, Shona making the run out in front, turns onto her right foot, plays the ball across the goals, it's deflected and in towards the goalkeeper Sinead McLarney. Pops the ball off and Senchlestown look to work the ball out, and yes, that's a free. Lauren has clipped the hand of her opponent and the ball we're joined here Mr. Fergal Lynch, who's late arriving. Must have had a problem getting through the COVID issues, Fergal.
Yeah, I had to get a swab taken there, Rory, before I came in, and there was seemingly there was investigations. It wasn't COVID, but they might have found something else worrying. But
Kelly Smith for Senchlestown working the ball in, but it's intercepted there by Trim. Aoife Slattery, they're working the ball out the field, out towards Sophia Maguire pops the ball onto the running Rachel McCormick. Rachel running to the middle, give it back to Sophia. It's better. Trim running a bit more direct with this move. A long ball in against the wind, and it's gone to the right hand side and it's gone wide. So we've 4 minutes gone here in St Lomans Park, and Senchlestown are a point to no score in front. Fergal, you've seen the Trim girls in their previous matches. They've been looked pretty good.
Yeah, I saw them a couple of times, and then especially in the semi-final against Nafeen. I know in other games they were concerned about the threw-away big lead against Kilbride, I think it was. So that was a concern, especially when they were behind at half-time against Nafeen. But they showed brilliant performance actually in the second half that day with the wind behind them. To go on the attack here again, it's a ball in from Katie Newman, but gets to the goal, he gets to it before Shona White. But yeah, Trim were mightily impressive against Nafeen, and that was a strong Nafeen side with plenty of players with senior experience there. And looking down through the Senchlestown team here as well, there's plenty of players there that have played senior with them before. Of course, the former queens of Meath ladies football, and there's a bit of a resurgence going on with their first team going well again. So they definitely have plenty to offer Senchlestown, and this won't be an easy one. I think Senchlestown beat Trim in last year's championship here as well, so it'll be a bit of a revenge mission here for the Trim girls.
Thanks, Fergal. The ball on the far side, Anna Bulger plays a good ball into Aoife Slattery. Aoife moves the ball on. Yes, a good pass inside. The two girls are inside there, and who's it? It's Katie Newman working into a scoring position. It's a good shot, and it's a great score. Well taken, Katie Newman. Even things up, point apiece. Senchlestown prepared for the kick out. Sinead McLarney with the breeze goes for a big long ball down towards the middle of the field. That's Aoife Slattery, I think, is it? Winning the ball. She's done a lot of ball early. Pops the ball there into Katie. Katie gets down low, wins the ball. Looks like she's been fouled. The referee playing advantage. Good advantage of the referee. Ball back to Isabel Varley. Isabel turns inside, looks to hand pass the ball on. Hand passes the ball into Katie again. Trimmer working the ball across, this time to Rachel McCormick. Rachel looking to drive on. Senchlestown showing good discipline in defence. Force Rachel into the shot when she hits it to the right and wide. So Trim, of course, lining out this evening without a couple of long-term injury absentees. Emer Ferry and Sarah Lynch missing for the whole year. But to counter that, they've a couple of players coming up from the juvenile ranks playing their first year in adult football, so it's a nicely balanced Trim team. Aoife McDonald wins the kick out, pops the ball off to Sophia Maguire, pops it back towards Rachel. She could have played that ball off her knees. Good scrap going on there for the ball. Rachel does well to hold it up, but it's turned over by Anya Nangle. They work the ball down the field. There's a spare player here in the middle of the field. It's a centre forward for Senchlestown. Ava Jane, no, I beg your pardon, that's Ruth Commons, plays the ball inside. And Sophia Purcell Feiston did very well there. Sophia gets a hand in and moves the ball away down the field to Avian Short. Solos the ball on her right. Goes around her player. Oh, the referee being very picky there. Done her for steps. And Senchlestown the ball back. Senchlestown go crossfield. This could be intercepted by Sophia. Does well. Turn over the ball. She got Rachel running inside off her shoulder. Rachel running a straight line. Keep going straight. She's moving on. Aoife McDonald. She gives it back to Sophia. She's had to look for it again. Takes a shot off her left, and it's just hit the post and gone wide. That was a good effort there from Trim. Trim shown well here, Fergal. I think the breeze is favouring Senchlestown, but Trim have started brightly.
Yeah, it's a very significant breeze there as well, Rory, and a bit like the first game Trim playing, the quarter-final against Nafina, or the last game of the league against Nafina, played against the breeze and more than held on. It's a good win the kick out from Katie Newman into Shona White. Shona White is a shot in the back of the net from Shona White. It was a kick out that was picked out straight away by Katie Newman, and she found Shona White, and Shona's shot was hip height the whole way in and bounced on the ground, off the ground and into the net. So that's a great score and a great reply for Trim. As you said, against Nafina they used the wind to great effect and managed to stay in the game, and then when they had the wind in the second half they pulled clear. So hopefully that's a sign of what's going to happen here. That's a great performance from Trim against the wind so far.
This time it was a long kick out. Jodie's come over the line. The Senchlestown player has moved by her in a soccer style and has put the ball wide. Oh, there was a big opportunity there for Senchlestown. I'm not quite sure what our goalkeeper was doing off the line there, but she came out and she got sold in a little soccer move there, but the ball was, fortunately for Trim, was kicked wide. Great kick out from Jodie. Isabel wins it, flips the ball out again towards Aoife Slattery. She's getting on a whole pile of ball early on. Aoife, that's a lovely ball towards Rachel McCormick, who's got in behind her player. The pitch is opening up in front of her. Oh, she mis-solos the ball, giving the chance for the Senchlestown player to get back. Shona comes out, and unfortunately in ladies football that's not allowed, I'm afraid. The other player had her hands down, the Senchlestown defender had her hands down. Shona just played on the loose ball and the referee correctly awards a free out.
Once you have your hand below your knees at all and you put your toe to the ball, the referee will always give a free, and Tom Lorton is refereeing a lot of ladies games, so he's well tuned into that rule, so Tom was quick to blow that up.
Ellen Dennis uses her body well just to move her marker out of the way. The ball breaks to Isabel Varley, onto Aoife Slattery again. Aoife moves the ball onto her favourite left foot, pops a nice ball in there. Oh, well taken, Lauren Fagan, and again onto Isabel, making a great run forward. Who's this? Katie again. Katie with a good shot, and it's a score, and that's an excellent team score there from Trim, and that's Katie Newman's second point. So again, Trim have managed to put Senchlestown under pressure from their kickouts, forcing the goalkeeper to go long. She kicks down towards Ellen Dennis. Ellen Dennis does well, keeps the ball out in front of her, breaks it there toward the middle of the field. Ooh, might have been a foul there. Oh, and the referee did award a foul to Isabel. Isabel plays the ball again out towards Sophia. Sophia wins a great ball above her head. Rachel making great runs through the middle of the field, just unfortunately fumbles the ball. The Senchlestown defender clears it out to the wing. Number 15 for Senchlestown, I think that's Shauna Fitzgerald, out in front of Aoife Slattery. Aoife this time pulls her to the ground and it's a free. Senchlestown looking to move the ball quickly. The hand pass off the shoulder to Ava Jane Ryan, just behind her, allowing Kate Dunn to win the ball. Kate tried to work the ball out. She should have kept going. She turned back into trouble there when she had possession, and she ends up fouling her player. She just caught on possession there, looked to move the ball out to this wing to where Sophia Maguire was free, but she got caught and the ball is turned over. Senchlestown again moving the ball fast in towards 11th. Ruth Commons. Ruth, well dispossessed. Ellen Dennis doing very, very well there. She started the game very, very well. Isabel getting on a lot of ball, controlling the half back line onto Aoife Slattery. Sophia picks the ball up in the middle of the field, moves forward with it. Good interception, good tackle there from Robin Murray. Senchlestown midfield, ball into the forwards. Senchlestown player is out in front and Senchlestown will clear the ball. 11.5 minutes gone. The score 1-2 to Trim, 1 point to Senchlestown. Senchlestown working the ball here towards Kelly Smith. Kelly pops the ball inside to Ruth Commons, who's getting on a lot of ball too. Good battle here in the full forward line there for Senchlestown. Robin Murray breaks out to the outside and kicks a lovely score. That's Senchlestown's second score. 12 minutes gone, 1-2 to 2 points. Just a slight break in play. I think one of the Trim defenders just fixing her laces. Jodie Levy taking her time with the kick out against the breeze. Kicks the ball on the left hand side of the field. That's a lovely kick. Avian Short showing short for the ball. Does well. Shimmies the ball but just can't get around her player. But Isabel has worked her way free. Moves toward the middle of the field onto her left foot. Plays a ball. Sophia was just kind of caught napping a little bit there. The ball is cleared. Senchlestown looking to work the ball down, and it's gone to Ruth again. Ruth Commons is dropping off her player and getting on lots of ball. Solos forward towards Kate Dunn. pops the ball on the outside to Kelly Smith. Kelly, and the referee calls the play back. There was a foul there when Ruth Commons was running through. I didn't see it myself, but I was following the ball. But the referee has awarded the free in. Senchlestown, they take a quick free kick. Trim were switched off. She knocks the ball back to Ashling's half. They work the ball to Charlie Murray, and Charlie hits the ball, and it's gone wide.
No expense here. Spare red TV.
13 and a half minutes gone. A short kick out taken from Jody again. Worked towards Sophie Purcell, did well. Won the ball. The ball is now back to Aoife. Aoife Slattery breaks the towel, and maybe the referee was correct there. She held onto the ball a little bit long. She tried to run it on the outside. And the free kick is quickly taken in towards a good battle in here, a good physical battle in here between Kate Dunn and Ruth Commons. And Ruth comes out with the ball this time, but I think she's been fouled every time she gets the ball.
Yeah, Ruth Commons is one of those girls with senior experience, and even though she's not that old, herself and her sister Roisin is another excellent player for Senchlestown, that she's plenty of senior experience. So Kate Dunn has her hands full there, and so far, as you said there, Rory, it's a great battle between the two of them. Good physical, tight battle, and plenty of ball going in between the two of them. But Trim are doing well to just keep it to 2 points, as I said, playing against this wind.
That's a very high free taken from well on the wing. It's an excellent score from Ava Jane Ryan from the free. 1-2 to 3 points with 14 and a half minutes gone, so you're not far away from the first water break. Jody just slowing it down here in the goals, looking for a player that kicks a good ball again towards Ava in short. That's the second time the ball has been worked there, and Sophie Purcell making a good overlap. She's breaking out from defence. She has an advantage, referee playing a good advantage, but the ball breaks here to, I think it's Lauren Fagan. Is it? Lauren has the ball again towards Rachel, who's getting lots of room there in the middle of the field, and again it looks like there's an advantage being played. Yeah, again the referee has been very sharp on those frees, but he's playing an advantage where he can, Virgil.
Yeah, and what's very noticeable compared to the last day is that Trim have clearly worked on their kickouts against the wind. Against Nafeen, I'd say they definitely lost 80% of their own kickouts against the wind, but there's definitely been a lot of work put in there, and Jodie Levy is finding her player every time.
It's a great free kick from Sophia into, I think that's Ava in short running through. She got dragged, and it's a free in much closer to the goals. So Trim just settling themselves here. It's Katie Newman, I think, on the ball, just taking her time, just settling herself. Take the free, and she taps it over the bar. Excellent. That's Katie's third point, and that's the water break. So 15 and a half minutes gone. John, you have to get in there.
Yeah, just tonight's match is brought to you by our main sponsor, Super Value, and the water breaks are brought to you by James Griffin Pub and Tom Lenihan. He sponsors all the water for all our teams for the water breaks. Also, this is the official launch of Trim GA Reds TV. In commentary tonight we have Rory Downing, and in co-commentary we have Fergal Lynch from the Mead Chronicle. So please enjoy this first launch of Reds TV.
Yeah, I must say it's this streaming initiative. If anything positive comes out of the basically nonsensical decision by the GA, or not by the GA, by NEFIT or by the government or whoever decided to restrict crowds coming to games, this is definitely a silver lining of it, and the streaming services provided by clubs is superb. And I have to say, John, the service you provided, Trim GA, is definitely second to none from any of the ones I've seen around the place. I know Screen had a great stream of their game against Walterstown in the junior championship last night, and Royal Gales streamed their intermediate semi-final against O'Mahony's last night. So it's great to be able to sit at home, and when you can't get out to these games, which, as I said, it's a farcical decision that hopefully from the 13th of September on, that player or spectators will be able to get out to these games. But a huge credit to the club and to yourself here, John, for getting these games up for those that can't get to see them, and even to be able to, hopefully it will continue for people that are overseas. I know you've had lots of people on from America and from Tenerife and from all over the world that are watching these games, and even to be able to look back in them during the week. I watched the game against Nafeen again last night. It's a great thing to be able to do.
Absolutely. And Derek Murta is spending most of his time watching the games in Trim at the moment. He put a message up today, he can't wait, so I presume you're all watching again, Derek. No, look, we enjoy doing it, and I suppose at the end of the day we don't only love the old hurling, we love the old GA.
Yeah, well, that's it. Special fondness for the hurling there. I think even Rory referred to a couple of puck-outs there in the first half. But these things happen, I suppose, and it's great exactly for people at Trim GA. I suppose the club, I know in the past it has gone well for Trim GA, but these are great days for Trim GA in the semi-final of the intermediate football, and hopefully definitely in the knockout stages of the hurling, hopefully to get to the semi-final of the hurling as well this weekend. So plenty more for Trim GA supporters to look forward, and the intermediate as well, and the junior footballers, and everybody's going. So back up and running. We'll hand you back to Rory.
Thanks, Fergal. The second quarter started with a kick out from Sinead McLaren. She played the ball down the right hand side. The ball broke, the foul, and Senchlestown went to take a short free kick there, and Avian Short read it and intercepted, but the referee is and a lucky break for Senchlestown is making them go back and take the ball from the correct position. So Trim almost stole a turnover there. So Senchlestown with the free in their half back line, long ball in toward Kate does well, just breaks the ball down away from Ruth, and Isabel Varley won the breaking ball and won the free. Well played there, Kate Dunn. Good ball in towards Lauren Fagan. Look at another great run being made by Rachel McCormack. She's storming through the middle again. Turns back, pops the ball back to Sophia. Sophia takes a shot, and she rushed it a little bit there, and she pushed the ball to the left hand side and wide. But the light beginning to fade. I imagine the floodlights will be coming on here very shortly in Trim. But it's a fine evening after the rain we've had the last day or two. The pitch looks in good condition. So there's any excuses here from either teams. Good conditions for football. Good kick out again. I'm starting to go long with our kick outs now. Senchlestown. The ball's been worked down again towards Ruth Commons. She turns the ball inside, looks for the runner Kelly Smith. Kelly working, trying to get the ball, work the ball back towards Ruth. Ruth's in towards the goals. A chance of a shot, and it's gone in over the keeper's head, and it's a goal. That ties it up. That's 1-3 apiece. Good goal there from Ruth Commons. She's just dropping deep and winning her ball, and worked the 1-2 and finished with a good shot to the roof of the net. That's a free in. That's going to be a free out. Anna Bulger winning the ball. Winning the ball well in the middle of the field. Pops the ball up towards Sophia. Sophia running a little bit sideways. Needs to get the ball moving forwards. She does. Pops the ball onto Avian. Avian short. Picks the ball up. Heads off on a solo run. Pops the ball back towards Aoife Slattery. Aoife works the ball back into Avian. Avian now, she's a very, very strong runner with the ball. She keeps going forward. She runs, tries to take it off her left foot. Very good block there from, I think it was Ashling's half, the Senchlestown number 3. Long ball down the field, and the bounce deceives everybody, and Senchlestown are on a quick break here round the field. Here they go, and Sophie Purcell does well, forces the player out onto her left hand side, but she kicks a wonderful score. That was a very, very good score from Senchlestown. A quick turnover, and the ball worked down the field. They used the wind well that time, Fergal.
Yeah, the long ball into their forward division is obviously something that they're looking for, and we were just talking there while you were commentating that they are looking for Ruth Commons in there, and it might do no harm if Trim they could maybe sacrifice the corner back, which is Emily O'Brien, who's stuck out in this corner here, and she's not really under much pressure. She could maybe sit in front of Kate and in front of Ruth Commons and try and cut out that long ball into her. Might be a tactic that Trim might have to look at, especially for this first half when the wind is with Senchlestown and they're using it to good effect.
Tara Traynor wins that free for Senchlestown, and she works the ball forward. Charlie Murray running on, has advantage, I think. She's running through, the very good, the advantage is gone, and she's working her way into a goal scoring position. Oh, that was an excellent score, but Trim got away there. That could have been a goal. Yeah, she ran very strongly through the heart of the Trim defence, cut inside onto her strong favoured right foot. The shot was just over the bar. I think Trim got away there. That was lucky that it was only a point conceded. Again, Trim slowing the ball down. Isabel Varley just tying her shoelace. Jodie now with the kick out that sort of field again, and the Senchlestown have worked out. I think Jodie's kick outs, they're getting in front of their players and they're intercepting. Kate makes the pick. Ruth Commons pops the ball off. Trim under pressure here again. Kelly is in again. Oh, I think she could be fouled. This could be a penalty. She looked to work the ball. She looked to work it back onto her right foot as she did in the previous move. She got fouled. The referee has gone in to consult with his own umpire that he has down that end of the field. We've Trim have an umpire down there, Dermot Bulger umpiring for Trim, but Tom Lorton has his own umpire with him. Consulted with the umpire and I think correctly awarded a penalty, and now Senchlestown have a big opportunity to open up a bit of a lead here, Fergal.
A bit of a calamity of errors there, Rory, with a poor kick out towards Rachel McCormick, and it didn't reach her. Jodie's kick out didn't reach her player, and then when the ball did come in, Kate Dunn bent down to pick it up and she failed to gather it. Ruth Commons got the ball, laid it off, and as the player was going through in goals, I suppose it's lucky there is a yellow card in ladies football. We're lucky we didn't see a yellow card there, but penalty now for Senchlestown. Brilliant save by Jodie Levy. She used all her goalkeeping experience, soccer goalkeeping experience there. She stayed on her line and got down quickly to her right hand side, and that was a brilliant save from Jodie Levy. She of course an underage soccer goalkeeper with Shelbourne, and she's had plenty of good training with the Meath County minors as well, so a superb save there from Jodie as Senchlestown ball went out for a sideline. Senchlestown are still on the attack here. David Jane Ryan I think is playing the ball out to the right hand side, and Senchlestown still piling on the pressure, and it's come out to I think that could be Ava Jane Ryan, actually number 10, and she puts the ball over the bar, so they do get some consolation from that attack in the form of a point. But Trim are lucky that it's not the concession of another goal, so it's 1-6 to 1-3 to Senchlestown, and we are 6 minutes before half time, Rory.
This time Trim managed to get their kick out away, find a player. Aoife Slattery gets the ball, wins a soft enough free, works the ball forward. Trim needs to just get a score here now. They've gone out of the game for since the water break. Aoife gets the ball, but she's well bottled up by the Senchlestown defence, and the ball is turned over. Aoife tries to work back. In fairness to her, she's fouled. Senchlestown are playing with an advantage. The advantage is over now. The ball is clear. This could bounce over everybody. It does, but it's gone over the sideline as well, and Trim have the sideline ball. Isabel Varley has gone out there to take the oh, I know what the referee is doing here. I think he must be awarding a free there, maybe for a push in the back. I'm not quite sure, but that ball definitely went over the line. It would have been a Trim line ball if it had gone over. Anyway, a bit of a baffling decision there, but anyway, it's a Senchlestown ball. That's a good ball in. There's dangerous. This ball could bounce as well. Emily O'Brien from Trim comes out to try and does very well. Works the ball here towards Aoife MacDonald, who seems to come out from the full forward line to give a bit of to bolster the defence here.
Yeah, well, that's maybe what needs to be done, Rory. The corner forwards need to come out and help out their half back line, and as you said, cut out, or John was saying earlier on, try and cut out that ball into Ruth Commons. There's no point in having 6 forwards up there if we're struggling to get the ball up, and we need to help out defensively. Trim working the ball this time up the field well. Sophia pops the ball out to Avian Short again. Back to Anna Bulger. Anna Bulger looking for Shona White there. Shona wins the breaking ball. Oh! It looked like she'd lost it. The ball broke away from the fullback. Shona, soccer style, just stuck out her right foot, jabbed the ball towards the far post. I think the keeper was beaten, but the ball just drifted past the posts. So a bit of a let off there for Senchlestown, and Trim could have done with a score there. So we are now 26 minutes gone. There's an injury to one of the Senchlestown players just being tended to, but I think she's okay and ready to continue. The score 1-6 to Senchlestown, 1-3 to Trim. Kick out comes this side of the field again. It goes over Rachel's head. Rachel was off her knees that time, trying to fight for the breaking ball, and again the referee was correct in his decision that time. The ball worked in towards Aoife Slattery, goes hard challenge, but her player just turned her there just as she committed herself. That was Shauna Fitzgerald. She's working the ball forward and she gets fouled by Aoife Slattery, so the ball has been called back to Charlie Murray, who's kicked 1 or 2 very, very good frees already. So with the breeze, she's almost in front of the goals. She's probably about 35 metres out. She just steadied herself. It'll be a good kick if she gets it, but I think she certainly has the range. Takes her time, moves up, right foot. She got under that one a little bit. It's going slightly out to the right, and then it's gone to the right hand side, and it's gone wide. So Trim just need to batten down the hatches for the last 2.5-3 minutes here, just to get to half time without conceding too many more scores, Fergal. Yeah, it was as we was saying they were really flying early on, and that water break has just taken the momentum, as it tends to do in a lot of games. It really is a pet hate for me at this stage. I know I go on about it a lot, but it's a real momentum breaker. So as you were saying, Rory, they need to just take the sting out of Senchlestown's play in this last couple of minutes, retain possession. No need to be doing that and stupid. This is good play, working it out from defence. It's Ellen down, 2 corner forwards, actually, or wing back and a corner forward working well, and it's Aoife Slattery onto Rachel McCormick.
Now Rachel charging forward, as we've seen this many times in the first half. Sophia making a good line, good run off her. The ball is worked here to... Oh, it's a great score. Great score. Avine Short with a great score, and a much needed score from Trim. 1-6 to 1-4, and we have now 28 minutes gone. Yeah. So Trim have definitely moved a player back. Aoife McDonald, she's standing right in front of the of Ruth Commons now for the last couple of minutes of the first half.
Tuned into Facebook Live over on the far side, because that's exactly what we were saying that they should do, and sacrifice your corner forward just to come back and help out defensively. And in the last couple of minutes it has worked, so I hope we don't put the curse on them now in these last 90 seconds of the half.
A line ball on this near side. Senchlestown, a long ball. This is a big bounce. Could challenge Aoife. Aoife's a tall girl, but the ball bounces over her head. Emily comes in. Emily O'Brien comes in. She's strongly challenged there by Grania Gordon, but Emily wins the race on the ground, gets the ball, turns it over. Aoife picking up that loose ball. That's exactly what she's there for. She's got to steady herself and work a ball out of defence. Out to Aoife Slattery. Aoife moving the ball out towards the left. Oh, you're standing still. Oh, Isabel Varley was standing still and she got caught. The ball was worked in towards Ruth. Kate Dunn stands up. Oh, Kate fouled the ball there. She was off her knees. I think that should have been a free in there, but the ball is worked out the far side. Anna Bulger carrying the ball away under pressure, pops the ball to Avine Short, who's been very lively in the first half. Isabel, that's a much better line, pops the ball to Avine on the loop. Avine pops the ball in towards Hannah Fagan. This is Lauren Fagan, I beg your pardon, that's twice I've called her Hannah. The game is working. Sophia, Trim are working. This is a good passage of play. Sophia with a good looking shot. It's going to drop short. Keeper, solid catch there, the keeper. She got fouled. It slows the game down from a Trim point of view, but it gives a clearing kick. It's a very, very good ball out this side. Rachel McCormick, the ball is turned inside there by Charlie Murray. Charlie working the ball, chips a pass out towards this, could bounce over Sophie's head. No, Sophie did well, wins the ball very bravely and strong, wins the ball, read that bouncing ball, held the ball, took the hit and won the free out for her team. So Trim need to just slow this down and run down the last few seconds of the first half. We've gone into injury time, but there will be at least 2 minutes with the water break to be added on. There haven't been too many other stoppages. Isabel plays the ball out towards Avine. It just slices off her foot and it's gone harmlessly over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball for Senchlestown. So 30 minutes, 30 seconds gone. Floodlights just coming on here in Trim. And I think overall Trim might be happy. They can hold out to half time. They're 2 points down, 1-6 to 1-4 after playing against the Breeze in the first half. The Breeze seems to have maybe died just a touch. But and again the referee is penalising the Senchlestown player for too long, I think, over that sideline ball. So I think, is he going to throw this ball in? Or is he? Yeah.
I don't know what that was for. Was she too close to the sideline? Was she too long? I don't know. Tom, he likes to apply the rules, and Trim got away with one here when Kate Dunn was obviously on her knees when she tried to pick the ball up, and so we got away with one. So we won't criticise him too much.
No, he's done quite well in the first half here, I think, to be honest. So this time he is awarded a free out to Senchlestown. So we work our way towards half time. 31.5 minutes gone. Senchlestown will be looking for another score before half time. They play a really good ball, chip pass out to the right hand side, and they're working. Kate Dunn is done for pace on the outside, drags her player back, but it's got away with it, gets a block. The ball has gone over the line, and it's going to be a 45 for Senchlestown. Did well, Kate. I thought she was beaten for pace on the outside there.
Yeah, she was brilliant, and she just sometimes what you lack in pace, but if you have it between the ears, and Kate Dunn certainly had it there. She held up her player, just forced her to keep going down that right hand channel, and then when the player did try to centre it, Kate got the arms up to knock it out for a 45. So she certainly had the positional sense between her ears, and to know what to do was well done by Kate.
Senchlestown are just taking the time over this 45, which is not to their advantage. They go short, the ball comes back to Leah Ryan. She pops the ball in towards Ruth Commons. Isabel gets that challenge in on her, and the ball is worked back out the field again. That's a fine effort, and it looks like it's a good score. Robin Murray with a score there for Senchlestown. It was a well-worked move there from Senchlestown from the 45. They played it short, worked to the scoring opportunity, and took the score. And half-time whistle is gone here in Trim, and the score, I make it 1-7 to 1-4. Thanks, John. I asked you not to turn the camera on me when I was wearing my woolly hat. But
you need the hat on though, Rory, because there's a shine now with the floodlights on. There's a bit of a shine
on the head. Trim got here. You've seen the Trim games, Fergal. Trim got here. They were beaten by Kilbride in their opening game here. I think they threw away a bit of a lead.
Yeah.
But they managed to recover, and with victories over, I think it was D Rangers and Nafina to get to this stage.
Yeah, they had a substantial lead against Kilbride, which was, I wouldn't say it was a bit of a surprise, but Kilbride have a couple of very strong players, including the county senior player Megan Peters. But Trim had built up a big lead against them and managed to throw it away. I think they made a lot of substitutions, which you learn from these errors and along the sideline, as well as errors during the field or during the game from the players. So D Rangers was a bit of a hammering, and they recovered well. Actually, it was good to get that game under their belt. But they played really well against Nafina here, and I think in that game they were 2 points down as well, another 3 down in this one at half time. But that was against the wind, and there is a substantial breeze there as well. So if Trim can come out and produce a second half performance like they did against Nafina, they've every chance of kicking on and making the final of this. But we're not doing as well in midfield as we were doing the last day. Rachel McCormick isn't on the ball as much. Her driving runs the last day caused Nafina endless problems. So they maybe need to try and get Rachel into the game and get her just to lengthen that stride and try and cut through the centre half back and create scoring opportunities for Sean inside.
I think a lot of it's down to the experience. I think of the Senchlestown defenders. I think they can check those runs and just put their bodies in the right way. Trim, of course, are obviously also missing Emer Ferry and Sarah Lynch, long-term injuries, who would be strong member. But they've got some young players coming through, and particularly down that left-hand side. Sophie Purcell, Aoife Slattery and Avian Short have just come up in the juvenile. This is their first year playing adult football, so it's a good mix of young and old.
Yeah, good mix of young and old. So it's a young woman's game and young man's game, and the other in the male side of things. I just looking at the first half, I think Kate Dunn should gamble a little bit with the win this time and play that girl from front. That girl is very strong. What's her name?
It's Ruth Commons.
Ruth Commons. She's very strong, but I would gamble in this half and put Kate in front of her
and let Emily O'Brien come in and sweep up behind her, because Emily's not been overly troubled by the full forward here, number 14.
Exactly, and the Senchlestown girl is big and strong, so I would gamble. When she gets the ball, she's making a lot of damage. She's giving left, right, or she's taking them on. So I would gamble. I'd gamble, but it's all to play for.
Yeah, Rory, you mentioned the younger players. When you were missing players, especially Sarah Lynch, who is definitely county standard. She's an unbelievable footballer. So to be missing her out of your attack, and Emer Ferry as well is an excellent footballer. But Avian Short looks as if she's been playing for years in the last couple of games. Her turn of pace is exceptional. Aoife Slattery was probably, after Rachel McCormick, was probably the best player on the field against Nafina the last day, and Ellen Dennis as well. Was it Ellen?
Ellen's right half back here, number 5. Yeah,
has been excellent as well. The last day against Nafina, you had more from Sophia Maguire. Probably had a little bit more from just looking down through the list there. A little bit more from Anna Bulger, a little bit more from Rachel McCormick. So if we can get another 10% out of that 3 in particular, Trim will have a great opportunity. But it's looking good, but they need to just keep Senchlestown out and keep the scores ticking over.
There's one thing I know about this Trim team: they won't be done on fitness anyway. John Ferry training them for many years, and he trains them. They train pretty much all year round. They're very dedicated, John and his management team. So they certainly won't lack for fitness. So they should, be able to should have the legs and the breeze in the second half. So hopefully that will add to their performance. Even
during lockdown, when we were trying to arrange training sessions, and we were wondering with the county, would we do Zoom sessions or would we do anything, and we decided no, we won't do anything. But then talking to some of the Trim girls, they were on Zoom sessions doing online fitness 2 or 3 times a week, so they were putting county teams to shame with their fitness regime and their work that they were doing during lockdown. And you can see definitely the last day, you can see how it paid off. This is, as you mentioned, they're a more hardened, probably a more experienced Senchlestown team, and they're causing problems running through the middle. So Trim just need to get that structure and shape They certainly have the fitness, and they certainly have the players and the ability up front to win this game. It's just get their structure in shape, don't let the heads drop, and keep ticking away in the second half.
And Trim, of course, are carrying the memory of a 1 point loss at this stage in last year's competition. They were bet over in Slane in a rip-roaring game, so hopefully they don't fall at the hurdle. That's playing on their minds, and I know that's been eating away at the players for the last 12 months. So
yeah, well, nobody remembers beating semi-finalists. You know, it's all about getting to the final. If you get to a final, anything can happen on a day, and especially for girls, and especially to reach your first final, it's a massive occasion. And if you can get there and you get the taste of it, and okay, if it doesn't work out on final day, at least you've figured out how to get there, and you've had that hunger, and you've had the disappointment of losing the final. But beating semi-finalists is you might as well be betting the first round as betting the semi-final.
Okay, we might just have a little water break here ourselves here, John, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes for the second half. Thank you.
Just to mention again, this game is brought to you by our main sponsor Super Value, and our water sponsor the James Griffin Pub, Tom Lean and Liz and Hannah. We're just going to a short musical break now on request from Tom Lean. Here you go, Tom.
For the last time this evening, boys and girls, we're going to ask you to give us a nice bit of cuteness. A very beautiful song you know very well. It's back to 1960 and one of the forgotten heroes of that period of time. A young man called Joseph Mary Plunkett. While he was awaiting execution, he married his long-time girlfriend, Grace Gifford. A very beautiful song, a song called Grace. As we gathered in the chapel here in old Kilmainham Jail, I think about these past few weeks. Oh, will they say we failed? From our school days they have told us we must yearn for liberty. Yet all I want in this dark place is to have you here with me. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love I've placed this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. Now I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand the love I bear for these brave men, my love for this dear land. So when Pollock called me to his side down in the GPO, I had to leave my own sick bed. To him I had to go. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They'll take me out at dawn and I will die. With all my love, I place this wedding ring upon your...
Okay, we hope that the musical interlude was to everybody's satisfaction, and John Andrews is available for roving discos once this lockdown is lifted. So anybody looking for a bit of rebel music, so
Red TV on tour.
So about to get underway again here in Trim. I'll hand you back to Rory to get us up and running.
Anna Bulger wins the throw in and works the ball in towards Katie. Katie pops the ball off to the overlapping Avian. A sub on for Senchlestown. We'll tidy up those details now in a minute. Avian turns inside and is fouled. So number 20, I think it's Tiana Kyle, is on for Senchlestown. I'm not sure who's come off. It might have been just a straight swap in that position, but we'll check that out for you now in a moment. Katie Newman comes out in the corner forward to take the free. The breeze seems to have dropped a little bit, but anyway, Katie with the free. Off her right. Okay. Oh, that's a great score from Katie, right over the black spot. Right over the black spot. That's a real confidence booster at the start of the second half for Trim. I think that's Katie's 4th point. So 1-7 to 1-5.
And she was instrumental in making the goal as well. Her brilliant ball in, not looking to.
I think there could be a relation of Fergal.
Uncle Fergal here is a very proud man here beside me on the sideline.
Her father has managed to get a yellow bib there. He's stewarding as well tonight, so it's
a family affair.
Well, he's helping that floodlight down to your left just be propped up.
Aoife Slattery plays the ball onto Avian Short, turns back inside, pops the ball in towards Lauren Fagan. It was overhead, but Shona White gets the ball. Oh, she looked for the overlap just behind her player, but Rachel McGormy picks the ball up, takes the shot, and she just slices it off her foot slightly to the right hand side and wide. But a very, very lively start here by Trim to the second half. Sinead McLarney kicks the ball out towards Avian, slightly over her head. The ball just breaks inside Aoife Slattery, and it's worked to Robin Murray for Senchlestown. But Aoife gets a hand in to dispossess her, and now the ball breaks, and Aoife wins a great loose ball. That's a great confidence booster there. Pops the ball down to Katie. Katie turns inside. Oh, great run from Anna Bulger. Looking to move the ball to her right foot, but kicks it inside with her left. And it's a good interception there. And the full back line by Aoife Lenihan. And Shona was putting her under a bit of pressure, and the referee has penalised Senchlestown and awarded a free into Trim.
Well, brilliant work here from Aoife Slattery. She managed to knock the ball away, and even when the Senchlestown player picked it up again, she blocked it down. So it's Katie Newman looking for her 5th point. So her this will be her 3rd free, I think. So she kicks it, and it just sneaks inside that right hand upright. And her father down at the floodlight here is hiding there. Well, he's stewarding for the night, but he's obviously delighted to see his daughter. That's 5 points for his daughter here tonight.
And Trim have pulled the game back to the opening 2 scores. It's now 1-7 Senchlestown, 1-6 to Trim. Another Sinead McLarney, a big kick out. Oh, Rachel gets her hands on it, wins, picks up the breaking ball. Excellent play, pops the ball into Sophia. Now Rachel, these are the lines that Fergal was talking about at half time. Rachel off her right foot, and what an excellent score! An excellent score from Rachel. That's more like it, Fergal.
Yeah, that's what we said at half time. When they get our runners through the middle onto the ball, it was brilliantly plucked out from Rachel, winning the kick out, got the ball out to Sophia, and Rachel continued to run, and when she moves at pace, she's very difficult to stop. She's very strong, and she proved there she's very accurate as well.
Senchlestown working the short kick out. The ball goes to Charlie Murray, carrying the ball forward, pops the ball onto the sub, Tiana Kyle. This is on the right hand side, hops the ball, but Rachel has managed to get back, got a hand on her, but made contact with the player, and it's a free into Senchlestown. Tiana hits the ball in, looking for Ruth Commons. Ball popped on again, and Ruth going on the overlap, takes the ball, moves onto her left hand side, but Trim crowd around, three Trim players around her. Excellent play. And that's Senchlestown working an advantage. And it's a good score there. And Kelly Stafford, another sub on for Senchlestown in the forwards. I think
she's in for 14.
Kelly has replaced Grania Gordon, and it's a good score. The score now is 1-8 to 1-7 to Senchlestown. 4 minutes gone in the second half. That's a definite push in the back there. An easy free to be awarded there for Trim. Avian is causing all sorts of trouble here.
Very impressed with Avian Short. She's been brilliant. She's shown for kickouts. You know, you're saying she's only up out of juvenile footballs. What age is Avian?
17 or 18, I would say.
Superb footballer, really has shown it here tonight.
Bit harsh, but he's been consistent on that. In fairness, he's penalised a number of players on both teams.
Yeah, well, you can be consistent and wrong, I suppose, at the same time. But she ran her 4 steps, was held up. She seemed to take a bounce when she was held up, and then she went again. I'm not sure whether he saw the bounce in there, but no, it's he has called that a few times, is right.
Senchlestown working the ball down this right hand side of the field. The substitute Tiana pops the ball, gets the return, and that's a great interception by Ellen Dennis. Works the ball down towards Katie Newman. Katie right along the sideline, gets a bit of a shove, but manages to get by her player using her pace, bursting down the sideline. She's starting to cut inside. Katie, she's working the ball. She's definitely fouled there. Excellent play. Might have got an advantage there, but she'll take the free. She's been fairly solid with the frees so far, so hopefully she'll pop this one over. but an excellent run down the touchline there from Katie. Had our player beating all ends up for pace. Takes the free, taps it over. Excellent. She's certainly got the eye in this evening, Fergal.
Yeah, super again, and it's something that Trim have needed, with Sarah Lynch out injured, was a regular free taker, and they've kind of chopped and changed between free takers, but they look to have just decided tonight, anytime we get a free, Katie Newman's taking it, and once you nail the first one, which she did, it's a great confidence booster. So I think that's 6 points for her now, probably 4 of them or 5 of them from frees.
Trim working the kick out here. The ball comes back to Isabel. She's on her left hand. She's soling the ball in. Just fumbles slightly. Passes the ball back to Anna Bulger. Anna working the ball again to Sophia. Sophia Maguire trying to get through the cover here, but Senchlestown are tackling very, very well. Avine again on the ball. Oh, she's turned her player. She's moved inside. She's takes on it on. She works it. She's won a free. She won her free. She's causing all sorts of trouble to the Senchlestown defence here.
Yeah, well, there's just no stopping that, especially in ladies football. If you've got the ability to solo the ball tight to yourself and keep tight control, you're very difficult to stop. If a player puts a hand on you at all, it should be a free in, and that's what happened there. She just sized it through 2 or 3 players. A couple of hands came on her back, so another free for Katie Newman. This one goes to the right and wide. Or might be held in there.
In by Aoife McDonald. Bums to Shona. Wide out to Lauren. And Lauren Fagan has worked the point.
Yeah, sometimes the stroke of luck. It's for Katie's first poor free, but brilliantly kept in there by Aoife McDonald. Yeah, and to get it back to Lauren Fagan then takes a bit of skill, and it was a super score. So
7 minutes gone, second half. Trim 1-9, Senchlestown 1-8. Not much between these teams all the way through, and a big high kick out against the breeze mightn't be the best tactic there, but the ball has worked its way to the wing back. She's very close to the line here. If there was a line. And that's Anya Nangle winning the free there for Senchlestown. A ball in towards, they're working this ball in towards the danger player Ruth, but Sophie Purcell has won a great ball and she's won her free. Well done, Sophie. That's a couple of very good balls Sophie has won, in fairness to her. Ball down. Oh, Lauren Fagan gambled that the ball would get by her player, but very, very well read by the Senchlestown centre back. The ball here with Shauna Fitzgerald. Works the ball to number 5, which is Leah Ryan, making the ball down there. But Lauren has done very well. She's recovered her mistake and worked her way back and turned the ball over. Excellent play by Lauren. Shoves her player out of the way and launches a great ball down, but Shauna just was caught on her heels a little bit. And the ball has been worked out here. I think that's Aoife Lanahan playing in the full-back position, wearing 6 for Senchlestown. A great ball down the field in towards Ruth Commons. Ruth working the ball down this side, pops the ball and they're working the ball back to Ruth. I think she's certainly the go-to player for Senchlestown, and she's worked the ball onto her right hand side, onto her right foot, under pressure, and kicks the ball to her right hand side.
So what Trim have done now in the second half is they've moved Emily O'Brien onto Ruth Commons. It seems that every time the ball, I know it looks as if Kate Dunn is picking her up here, but when Senchlestown come to the attack, it's like Emily O'Brien comes across and Kate Dunn just steps back. So Emily is charged to put in the first tackle on Ruth, and she gets by her, then she's to get by Kate Dunn, and that's what happened there as a result of constant incessant pressure on her, forced her to kick it wide.
Oh, Trim turned the ball over again in the midfield. They're playing with great intensity the start of the second half. Trim. Sophia Maguire pops the ball in towards Shona White. Shona gets the ball. Oh, she rolls her player, works her way onto her right hand side. She's barreling in towards the goal. She's being pulled back. She says to the keeper. Oh, I thought she might have got a penalty there. I thought she might have been awarded a free on the way in. The referee has penalised her for overcarrying the ball. He's going in to consult maybe with his umpire.
Why didn't she shoot first time? She had got herself through 1-on-1 with the keeper, and with her power of a boot she should have put keeper, ball and net and the whole lot below in the Aura Leisure Centre is where it could have ended up, but she tried to go round the keeper, maybe tried to be too smart, and she definitely did overcarry the ball. So whatever the umpire is telling her here, whether he changed his mind to give a free, no, he's keeping it as a free out, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. No, he's given a free in. She was penalised, she was fouled as she worked her way in towards the goal. I think there was her arm was dragged back, and the referee consulted with the umpire, and the decision is a free.
And Sean is complaining to the referee there. If I was Sean, I wouldn't be complaining. I'd be shutting my mouth and getting the ball over the bar and getting back in, because it was a really good goal chance. And in fairness to the referee, he went in and spoke to his umpire and acknowledged that she was fouled in the build-up. So it's another super point, a simple enough point, but it's a super score, well worked score for Trim to get into that position. Could have been more, but they'll definitely take the point. Can the referee do that? I call that good refereeing. Whether it's within the rules for a referee to be able to do that, I think it should be encouraged. If an umpire spots something, why not? Especially a neutral umpire.
Shona Fitzgerald making ground down the right hand side for Senchlestown into Root Commons, pops the ball on. Senchlestown playing with an advantage here. The ball has moved in towards, that's dropped short. I think the referee has called advantage over, dropped into Jodie's hands. She kicks a great ball towards Anna Bulger. Anna Bulger heading down the far sideline, just steadies herself down the wing towards Sophia Maguire. Trimmer moving the ball very, very well, but Sophia that time just fumbled the ball and the ball is turned over. Good defending. Senchlestown looking to move the ball again, and the bit of space here. Kate has dropped off her player and has just caught on a bit of trouble. This ball is dropping short and it's dropping wide, and Jodie uses common sense, lets the ball go wide and just slows the ball down, lets everybody catch a breath, get out of their positions. The score here: Trim 110, Senchlestown 1-8. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Jodie kicks straight down the middle of the field towards Sophia. Maybe she should have put her hands on that one, but she with her feet works the ball to Isabel Varley. Turns and breaks the tackle, playing with the advantage again. Isabel, pops the ball in towards Lauren Fagan. There's a runner off her shoulder, but Lauren turns to the other side, takes it on herself. Okay, works the ball back towards Aoife McDonald. Aoife has a good strong left foot. She's going to work it onto her left foot. That's a great ball towards Sophia Maguire. Will she take? She drives on with the left foot. Oh, that's a lovely score. Excellently worked score from Trim. One of their best scores of the game. 111 to 1-8 is the score that I make it, with 12 minutes gone in the second half. But Trim have started the second half very, very well. The ball is down the far side of the field. Senchlestown working the ball, but I see Anna Bulger making a great run back there. Trim are really working hard off the ball in the second half. They're really working hard. The Senchlestown player turns inside. Ruth Commons draws the foul, but the referee is playing advantage. He's playing using the advantage rule very frequently this evening. Aoife Slattery puts a tackle in with the block, but the rebound went there. I couldn't see who that was. The left-footed player there for Senchlestown, which kicked a very good score.
I think it could be the girl coming back across the goals. Is it here? Number 15, I think. No, it's not. Number 15 is here. Number 10, is it? Ava Jane
Ryan. Yeah, there's a couple of scores I think Ava Jane has got. So I make the score 111 to 19. A little shove in the back there for Avine, but the referee didn't see it that way, and the play continues. The ball is with number 8, Tara Trainer for Senchlestown. Moves the ball inside. Isabel Varley is working hard Isabel Varley working hard to gain possession, but she had fouled her player, who was Charlie Murray, who's got on quite a lot of ball. Pops the ball, and the referee being a little bit fussy where she's going to take the free, but it just slows the game down a little bit.
Yeah, and that suits Trim down to the ground. It's I suppose just reaching over the top of the shoulder of the Senchlestown player, no hesitation, giving the free there. It was the right call, but every time the ball gets slowed down now, it suits Trim. And the wind does seem to be picking up a bit, Rory, whether it's changed slightly direction more into our face here than down the goal or down towards the or a leisure centre end, but it's definitely picking up a little bit again, the wind. There's a bit of a scramble for possession, and it's Kate Dunn that picks it up and uses all her physicality to come out holding off challenge number 15 and wins the free. So it's a good platform for Trim again to break out from defence and maybe launch another attack here.
And Kate just slows the ball down a little bit, leaves it for Jodie Levy to come out to take the kick. Jodie steadies herself, hits the ball down towards Avine Short, certainly the go-to player. Oh, the ball came off the hand of the Senchlestown player. That's going to be a Trim ball. Oh, it came off the hand, but
Senchlestown linesman, I think he's always going to give it his team there. So it was. I think it did come off Senchlestown fingers, but Senchlestown linesman reckons no.
It was difficult. The referee certainly couldn't have seen him where he was, so certainly no fault of the referee there on that occasion. Charlie Murray, like a big high ball in. It's underneath it is Isabel Varley. Isabel Varley wins the ball, plays the ball across the field towards Sophia, who's getting on a bit more ball in the second half. Anna making a great run off her shoulder. The ball's given. Look at Rachel McCormick. Get your hand up. Look at her. She's not moving, but Anna's making ground. She pops the ball in towards Shona, but Shona is well covered and the ball was cleared. There was an option there, but a mistake by the Senchlestown defender into Avine. This time the ball is worked towards Rachel. Shona's hand just deflected the ball away from Rachel McCormick. Rachel seems to have slowed down a little bit. I hope she's not carrying a knock, but Senchlestown have worked the ball out, and the ball is with Aoife Lenihan. plays the ball in towards Ruth Commons. She's got a runner off the shoulder. That's Shauna Fitzgerald. Back to Ruth. Trimmer working tirelessly in defence, trying to shut down all the avenues. And that's a brilliant Emily O'Brien with a great brave block and a turnover. No, it's Ellen Dennis actually. Ellen Dennis bursting out of defence, plays a 1-2 with Anna Bulger, still coming forward, just looking for an option here, looking for her options, and she got fouled as she tried to hand pass the ball out the wing, and we've a free into Trim. Another sub coming up at Senchlestown. 16 minutes almost gone in the second half, so the water break will be coming up any moment. It'd be great if Trim can manage to sneak a score here just before the water break. Aoife McDonald with the ball in the middle of the field. Aoife plays a big ball in towards Shona White. The ball bounces over one player, bounces over another player. Katie is in. It just travels a bit too far. The keeper did excellently there. Come off her line. Sinead McLarney read the ball very, very well and clears the ball over to the far sideline. Anna Bulger keeps the ball in play. Trim still looking for another score before the break. And Leah Ryan clears the ball well there for Senchlestown. The pace has certainly picked up in the second half, and the game has opened up too. So we're in for a cliffhanger here in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so of this game. And the ball is Ruth Commons. She's going forward. Kate tries to get a challenge in on her, puts her under a bit of pressure, and Sophie Purcell has played a very, very tidy game there in the corner back position there for Trim. Plays the ball down towards Aveen. There's two players closing in on her. She's using her pace to try and work the ball down, and the ball is picked up by Charlie Murray for Senchlestown. Aveen working tirelessly. Great hand in there from Aveen. Turns the ball over. The referee calls the water break. So they're almost 17 minutes gone, Fergal, but I make the score 111 to 1-9. That was a good quarter of play by Trim.
Yeah, it was said turning with the wind at their backs. They used the wind to good effect, and definitely some of the scores of the game there were scored by Trim in that second. And so the referee is saying it's 111 to 110. We're making it 111 to 1-9, but we have to go by what the referee says. 1 point game, Rory, so it's definitely all to play for. We're leaving one clock running and we stop the other for the water break, so we'll see if Trim can sustain this bit of pressure. Senchlestown have come back into it there just in the last 5 minutes. The first 10 girls in midfield have put in Trojan work, seem to be getting a little bit tired, but some brilliant defence back there. Aoife Slattery, Ellen Dennis, corner back there, Sophie Purcell as well. Emily O'Brien has done a pretty good job on Ruth Commons there as well, which, as I said, she's getting across and trying to apply that little bit of extra pressure to her. So it's going to be a nail biter. It's a 1 point game, 111 to 110, with definitely 13 minutes to go anyway.
That's another word for our sponsors, main sponsor Super Value, and Tom Lean, who supplies water from the James Griffin pub. Thank you very much for your kind and generous sponsorship from Reds TV.
Is that a registered business name now, John, that Reds TV? Just want to clarify that.
It's on its maiden voyage today and we think it's working fairly well.
So both teams just getting their breather, getting the last instructions. Fergal, you mentioned you're not a fan of these water breaks. Do you find from a coaching point of view, do you not find them a useful tool?
Well, no, I actually haven't. We stopped when everything else stopped in March with the county minors, and Leinster Council in their wisdom decided not to start up the Leinster Championship again, so I actually haven't got to coach with these at all. But just from watching games, and you see it just completely disrupts momentum, and it's not used for water, it's a tactical break. And I've suggested the other day maybe some sort of an alternative, if they do insist on a water break, was that you've got two water carriers that bring out carrier bottles. The teams come to the middle of their own defensive 45 metre line to take their drink of waters, and the water carriers come back. There's no management, no selectors, nobody meets up with the players. It's literally just a water break, and that's what it should be.
What's that?
That's in my own little mind, John. for what it matters, but that would be my idea.
Football according to Fergal.
yeah.
So the game looking to restart with a Leiden ball for Trim on the near side. Anna Bulger coming over to take it. She bounces the ball, waits for the referee to whistle. Fergal restarts his stopwatch. She plays it short to Aveen. Aveen rolls her player, pops the ball back to Anna, running off her shoulder, and another good ball across the field to Rachel McCormick. This time Rachel shows a turn of face. She runs forward, pan passes the ball in. The ball is deflected off Katie Newman in towards Shona White, but the goalkeeper again, that's twice in the last couple of minutes, the Senchlestown goalkeeper has come off her line to great effect. Anna moves forward, gets her hands on the ball, might have been fouled, but the ball's over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball on the near side here to Senchlestown. Trim are looking a bit dangerous. There's a couple of times they've got half chances for goals there, Fergal.
Great ball by Rachel McCormick into Katie Newman, and Katie just wasn't able to hold on to it and came through to the keeper, and it happened just before the water break as well, where the keeper managed to get a ball that just didn't stick to Trim forward. But Senchlestown on the attack again with Ruth Commons. Oh, yeah, shot in there from the corner forward, number 15. I think it's Shona Fitzgerald. Luckily enough, screwed off her boot to the right. So it's still a 1-point game. I reckon with 12 minutes to go, there's including the water break, I've taken that out of it, so we reckon there's about 12 minutes left, and it's still 1-11 to Trim, 1-10 to Senchlestown.
Jodie Levy with a kick out down the middle of the ground. This ball could bounce, but Avian Short, bravely goes in, just clips the heels accidentally of I think that's Aisling Taff there, the Senchlestown number 3, and we'll have an injury break here. The long kick out bounced in the middle of the field. Avian came running in to challenge the ball. Just seemed to. No, I think he's just checking his notes. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that was purely accidental at that stage. She just accidentally just clipped the. I think it was the looked like the back of the heel or something of the Senchlestown player. Yeah,
he's just adding a few extra notes for his report later on. So I don't know what he's talking. Just to hear what he's saying here. I
think the Senchlestown mentor is querying that last decision where he he'd awarded the free out for Shona White over carrying the ball, and he subsequently changed his mind and gave a free into Trim. I think the Senchlestown is just querying that decision, and the referee is explaining that he consulted with his umpire, and that was the decision.
They're not letting that one go, so it's a good 10 minutes ago, and he's bearing a grudge on that one. He should he's got the deficit back down to a point. He should maybe focus on that. Tom wasn't happy with play resume until he got into position, so we will get back up and running now.
We will. We are ready to go. Trim, Senchlestown looking to work the short one. The Trim half forward line were alert to that, but the ball is worked here to, I think it's Robin Murray for Senchlestown. Works the ball into the middle of the field. Senchlestown going sideways a little bit. The Trim defence working very hard to keep them out. The ball with Ruth Commons turns the ball inside. Anna Bulger is there trying to get a challenge in. So Sophie Maguire is back there as well. The ball is played in. And Emily O'Brien just got caught on the near side, and the ball is worked and it's kicked to the left hand side and wide. So Trim got off with.
So if you just that's Trim, you can see the amount of players that got back. They've just left their full forward line in a straight line, maybe along the 20-metre line, and Avian Short operating in around midfield. Everybody else funneled back into defence, applying pressure. Might be a little bit early to be defending a 1-point lead, but to win this kick out again.
Anna Bulger left down towards Katie Newman, picks the ball up. Anna making great runs out in midfield here, and she plays the ball in towards Shona strongly turns inside her player. She bears down in goals. She just over solo the ball, and the retreating Senchlestown defender gratefully picked the ball up, clears her lines. The ball comes over the line here, and it's going to be a sideline ball to Trim. Katie Newman plays the ball inside to Avian Short. Avian back to Katie working the ball in towards her favourite right foot, but the Senchlestown closed down that. The ball to Aoife McDonald. She's going to work it to her left foot, passes it on to Shona on the loop, trying to make room for a shot. Back to Katie. Trimmer being patient here, working the ball across the line. Rachel McCormick takes on the shot. That looks pretty good. Just inside the near post. Trimmer very, very patient there. Fergal, they didn't panic on the ball, and they worked the ball to the player in the better position.
Yeah, well, they were patient, but I thought Katie had an opportunity to have a shot, and then when Aoife McDonald got the ball coming onto her left, she had an opportunity to take a shot, and they just, I wouldn't be a big fan of abdicating responsibility like that. I think especially when you're a forward, if you have an opportunity to take your score like Katie and Aoife had there, they should have taken it. But it was a superb score then from Rachel, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rachel got the last score. Senchlestown working the ball down the field here. Sophie Purcell holding it up, gets a very important hand in, allowed Aoife Slattery to get back and turn the ball over, and Kate, well done Kate Dunn, picked the ball up and drove out and won the free. That was excellent play again from Sophie Purcell. She's been really tidy in their corner back this evening.
Yeah, Sophie Purcell and Aoife Slattery again. This whole left hand side, you mentioned it in the first half when Trim were playing into the country goals here about the amount of joy they were getting down that left hand side. We're getting to see it now on this side of the pitch with Avian Short, Sophie Purcell, Aoife Slattery there. Brilliant. So they're doing really, really well.
Trim get a free. The quick run played by Sophia Maguire. Shona comes out. The cornerback had read that position well, got in front of her and won the free. But Anna Bulger is going to win the free. Plays the ball into, that's Sophia Maguire, is it, onto Isabel. Isabel's pushed forward into this attack. She rolls around, works the ball out to Aoife MacDonald. Aoife, oh, it's a great tackle there, but the ball comes back to Aoibhinn Short. Aoibhinn, and she's drawn another foul, but the referee's letting her play on. Oh, well done, Aoibhinn Short. What a super game she's playing.
Yeah, she was fouled again in closer to the goal. So where do you award the free there? Do you award it for the first foul where there was no advantage, or do you award it for the second foul, which is 20 metres close to the goal? She's been outstanding, Aoibhinn Short, and for a player just coming up out of juvenile ranks, wow, she's unbelievable here today. She's done really, really well. So this is Katie Newman with an opportunity for her. I think it could be her 8th point of the evening, but she screws that one to the right. But will Shauna keep it in? No, gone to the right and wide again. That's the last 2 frees I think Katie has missed. I think we might have put a bit of curse on her when I said once she nailed the first one, the confidence grew, and since we said that, she's missed the next 2. But she's definitely playing very well, and a huge contribution to this performance. Trim still lead by 112 to 110 with about 7.5 minutes to go.
Senchlestown are working the ball down this side of the field and their clearance, but Trim are winning every ball on the Trim left hand side. The Senchlestown right. Shona this time rolls her player, gets inside, is playing an advantage, pops out to Katie in front of the goals. Shuni's inside, works a shot. Oh, she hits the crossbar and it's got over the bar. A great score, well worked. Could have been a goal there, but again, Aoife Slattery won the ball here on the left hand side, worked it with Aoibhinn. Shona this time rolled her player. Katie made a great run inside. Shimmy worked in. I think she was looking for a goal, but hit the bar, and over the bar it went. So Trim,
bottom corner really, that should have been, and I don't understand clean through and goals trying to hit the roof of the net, especially in ladies football. Either side of the keeper, bottom corners, and that'll do you good enough. But a great point nonetheless. It does stretch Trim's lead, I think, to 3 points now. So another couple of points to put more than the one score between them would be very much appreciated at this stage.
Trim are showing great heart here. Great fight in the second half. Anna Bulger wins another dirty ball there for Trim. The ball is worked to Rachel McCormick. Rachel working it on the outside, plays a low ball in towards Shona. Shona this time with her foot works the ball out to create a bit of space for herself, but she's out on it, way out in the corner. She won't score from there, but she's trying to run her player. She burst by 2 tackles. She turns inside. She's still going. Oh, the referee's blowing the whistle and he's given a free out.
Yeah. I don't know what the free out was for, but it was great work by Shauna actually to cut in from being so tight in the corner. She did really well to cut in, but then she tried to shoot on her right foot coming in from that right hand corner. It was the complete wrong option. Did really, really well. It's just this end product, and it seems to be, I know we can praise Trim and they've done really well and kicked some brilliant scores, but on a lot of occasions they've just taken that wrong option, individuals rather than as a team. As a team they're playing really, really well. Some superb individual performances as well, but just a couple of occasions in front of the goals taking wrong options.
Just to recap on the scores, there's a little break and play. We get ready to take this free for Senchlestown. The score is 113 for Trim, 110 to Senchlestown. 28, almost 29 minutes gone on my stopwatch, but I left it running during the water break. Fergal stopped his, and it stopped his with a few injuries, so he has it that there's almost 25 minutes gone. So there's about 5-6 minutes to go here.
That was during the James Griffin water break.
We have a sub coming on the field here for Senchlestown. That's cornerback number 2, Catherine Smith, coming off.
I notice a name in the Senchlestown subs there, Sorka Goff, who she must be injured. She must be badly injured if she's not playing, because Sorka is an exceptional footballer. When she was with the minors with us a couple of years ago, even before she came in, she had done a cruciate. She's come back from 2 cruciate knee injuries and is a superb player. So if she was anyway half right, she'd be in.
Senchlestown working the ball of the field. Kate Dunn held her player up, conceded the free, but it might have been the lesser of 2 evils there. There was probably a goal opportunity. There was an overlap. Ruth Commons had made a run inside. Kate just held the play up long enough, conceded the free, and
yeah, definitely the best option there for Kate when you're 30 yards from goal. It'll take a good kick here, but Trim just need to be aware that it can happen so often in games like this that this doesn't drop short. So they need to be alert for this, and kicks it wide. The midfielder kicks it to the right and wide. So great defence there from Kate Dunn. It was a real risk-reward type of tackle, and she got her reward for the risk of giving away the foul.
So we enter the last couple of minutes here. Jodie Levy with the kick out for Trim. Kicks it down the middle of the field. Oh, what a take! What a take by Anna Bulger. She's had a great second half. Rachel McCormick breaks the tackle, gains the free, but the referee allows it to play on. Over the top this time, Shona has the ball in behind her player, but it breaks out towards the sideline. Shona moves out again. She needs players to give her an option here. She's not going to score from out there, but she takes on her player again, works it along the end line, cuts in. This time she tries to find Lauren Fagan, but she's swarmed out of it by the Senchlestown defence. There's gaps opening up all over the field now as we enter the last couple of minutes. The ball is worked out here at the right hand side to Shauna Fitzgerald, who's got on a lot of ball here in the second half. She's moving forward. Ham passes the ball in towards Ruth. Anna Bulger came in to make the challenge. The referee adjudged it a foul, and it's going to be a free in. Senchlestown go with the quick free. It's popped in. Dangerous ball in behind the defence, and it's over the bar. And a good score from Senchlestown. They gambled on the quick free, and it paid dividends that time.
27, is it?
Kelly Stafford. We think it was Katie Stafford with that score for Senchlestown. Anna just got a bit winded, I think, during that last that challenge. She's just catching her breath, and there's another Trim player, I think it's Aoife Slattery, is down as well.
Yeah, it was actually a great challenge by Anna Bulger there, just as Ruth Commons got the ball. She just stopped her in her tracks. She had no respect for her own body or the opposition body at all. She was determined just to put it all on the line and make sure that Ruth Commons didn't get away from a defensive situation. Aoife Slattery looks to have a problem with her finger here, whether it's a dislocation or not. She's holding it out there, but I think it might be just a little bit bent back, so she's not too bad.
We're getting good medical attention there from Jarlath Varley, one of the Trim mentors in there. So we're going to resume play now with a kick out following that score for Senchlestown.
90 seconds.
Yeah, we're in the last couple of minutes here, and the score is 113 Trim, 111 to Senchlestown. I make it that we're 32 and a half minutes gone. The ball breaks in towards Lauren Fagan. Lauren pops the ball. Anna Bulger with a great run off the shoulder. Trim need to convert here. Anna Bulger moves forward, and it's a good kick. It's dropping towards dangerously, and an excellent catch on the goal line there by Sinead McLarney, Senchlestown goalkeeper. I hope that miss doesn't go back to haunt Trim. The ball is worked down the field. Eileen Dennis out in front of her player wins a superb ball, knocks the ball back to Anna Bulger again. Trimmer holding on possession. Ellen with the ball again, pops the ball inside to Sophia Maguire. Sophia onto her left foot. Oh, she might get done for steps, and she does. She just hesitated and went again, and the referee correctly penalised her. A substitute coming on here for Trim.
So Aoife Slattery's going off.
And this is Roisin Milner, I think, coming on for Trim. Yes, it is Roisin Milner.
Superb bit of work there by Anna Bulger. You know, she'd wind it maybe 30 seconds earlier, and next thing we know, she's on the ball, she's laying it off, she's making another tackle within another 10 seconds. So great bit of work from Anna Bulger there.
So we're entering the last couple of minutes here. Score 113 to Trim, 111 to Senchlestown. This game is going to go right down to the wire. There's only been a point or two between the teams all the way through the game.
What's in it? 3-2,
A very dangerous lead Trim have at the moment, a 2-point lead. Oh, it's a mistake on the kick out. Rachel McCormick wins the kick out. This ball has to go dead. Even if it doesn't go, has to go dead, Sophia. Put it wide even if it's not over. But it's going to go over. What a score! What a score! Rachel pounced on the loose kick out. There hasn't been too many loose kick outs, in fairness to the Senchlestown goalkeeper. Rachel pounced on that one and created a score. Oh, Aoife went in. Oh, and Aoife committed herself, missed the ball. Trim have got to get back into defence. They're 3 points up. We're deep into injury time. Ellen Dennis trying to get a hand. Anna Bulger in there with a hand. The ball walked in towards the Senchlestown full forward line. Dangerous play. He's turned again back towards Ruth. Senchlestown are trying to be patient here to create the opening. They're moving. They need a goal, and they know they need a goal. They're working the ball across to this right hand side of the field. Trim defence seem to have the bodies there. They're packing that defence, trying to force the shot. Another advantage, and the referee played an advantage that time to Senchlestown, and it resulted in.
We're a minute over.
We're 35
minutes. Oh, Tommy, you have 38 minutes played.
our cameraman, producer and all that, encouraging the referee to check his watch.
Yeah, he called it as 36 minutes extra play, 36 minutes played. There was 35 and then shouted 38 to the referee. So it was like Trim bingo here on a Friday night with John Andrews there. But Senchlestown cut out that Trim attack again.
The referee, in fairness, had his hand up playing it. The referee had his hand up for an advantage to Senchlestown before that ball was intercepted.
2-point game.
2-point game, deep into injury time. The few Trim people around the grounds here screaming at the referee to blow the whistle. Senchlestown are hoping for a few more minutes of grace, and the ball is worked.
8 minutes.
Trim need to win this ball. Isabel Varley commits herself, but the ball is turned over. Oh, and he got a hand on it, and the ball breaks. Isabel Varley, who wins the free. That was Roisin Milner, I think, who managed to get a vital hand in there to deflect the ball back into Isabel Varley's hands. And Isabel, slow it down, take your time. She kicks the ball long. The hop could be dangerous here. The ball breaks. Lauren Fagan there, but Sophia Maguire picks up the break. The ball comes to Avian, who's been outstanding in the second half. Avian drives down. The Senchlestown defender is put under pressure. Avian shoots in towards the goals. This could break anywhere. The ball breaks out towards Lauren Fagan. Lauren with half a yard, picks the ball up, turns inside, bounces, turns again. She's fouled, and she's going to take her free. And Trim, hopefully Katie Newman should stroll very, very slowly over to pick this ball up and take her time, tie her bootlace, pull up her sock, do everything she can before she takes her free.
Tell her put in her order for her dinner to her father there to the left. The whole lot. She could take all the time she wants. This has to be the last action. We're actually over 3 minutes over, allowing for the water break. We're out another 3 minutes, and that puts 3 points between the sides again, 115 to 112. I think we are into the 38th minute of this second half. It's a goal is all that will do Senchlestown, and that would force extra time. So it's all at Tom Lorton's discretion here, and he's not blown the whistle yet. I think he's on overtime, Rory. He must be double time, triple time at this stage.
It's a free in.
Aveen, work back, Aveen, work back.
A long free in Senchlestown in towards Sophie Purcell's player. She comes out in front of us, number 26, Aoife Mulvaney. Senchlestown still working forward. Trim trying to funnel players back. Oh, she must have overcarried the ball. How many times she overcarried the ball, referee? How many steps? He's blown steps all evening. But anyway, Senchlestown now have a free about 35 yards out, straight in front of the goals. A dangerous dropping ball here now could break Trim's hearts. Trim need to get their players back. This surely is the last chance. We've 34 minutes by Fergal's, watch 38 minutes by mine. Senchlestown looking to work the short one. They know a point is not sufficient for them. The ball comes inside. Lauren Fagan is defending for Trim. She slips. Her player comes inside. Trim just needs to win possession here. No more fouls. Avian, and the ball has hit the post and has gone wide, and the referee blows the whistle, and Trim have won their first time in the history of Trim ladies football that they've qualified for a championship final with a fantastic second half performance. They were 3 points down at half time. They've turned it around to win by 3 points on a final score of Trim 115, Senchlestown 112. Fergal, they had to battle all the way to the end.
They did, yeah. It was superb performance, and it shows, a little bit in contrast to the last round group game against Nafina, where they really dominated the second half. They had to weather a lot of storms in that second half in particular, overturned the deficit. I wasn't too concerned when they were 2 or 3 points down at half time, knowing that they would have to win, but they did have to work hard. Kicked some great scores, but you have to say defensively they were brilliant. Aoife Slattery I thought was brilliant before she went off there very late in the game. Ellen Dennis outstanding. Thought Kate Dunn was brilliant. Isabel Varley, just superb defensive display. And then when they did get the ball up into the forward, the two wing backs, Sophia Maguire for me was unbelievable. Against Nafina she was exceptional as well, was brilliant. But Avian Short was just, for me, the player of the match. She did unbelievable work, she did unbelievable damage using her pace superbly to get the ball into danger areas, and a great support from Rachel McCormick and Anna Bulger there as well were superb in midfield. Katie Newman, she laid on the first or the only goal, brilliant pass in for the goal scored 2 or 3 brilliant points from play, and apart from 2 wayward frees, I think she kicked 5 or 6 other frees. What did Katie finish at it? I think she might have finished with
8 points.
8 points, yeah. So I think 2 from play, 6 from frees, and laid on the goal as well. So she's fairly cosy on the free. Wouldn't like to speculate where she got her footballing ability from, but I'm sure it wasn't the Lynch side of the family. But yeah, look, it's great for Trim. We tried getting ladies football off the ground a few years ago, good few years ago. Myself and a couple of other lads, and we had a lot of good players back then, but this lot have come through the underage ranks and have really put in a lot of hard work. As you said, John Ferry's been with them and has them very fit, and he's put in a lot of hard work from a very young age, and with Peter McDermott there as well, or Francis Nugent. I've seen Francis on the sideline as well, so I'm delighted for them, and I know, as we said before the game, nobody remembers beating semi-finalists, but there's also no point in getting to a final now unless you're going to go and win it. So a lot of them players are definitely far better footballers than Junior C standard. They're definitely, from any grade I've seen, they're Junior A to intermediate standard footballers, and some of them certainly wouldn't look out of place on senior teams. But that Trim team is definitely, if they stick together and work hard and can win a couple of championships, there's no reason why they couldn't be playing Junior A or possibly intermediate in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I know John Ferry's a very good friend of mine, and I know from speaking to him over the years, he's always at this bunch of girls to be that they're pioneers for the club, because they're the kind of the first bunch to play adult football. They're the first bunch now to qualify for a championship final, and you know, my own daughters are involved at the juvenile level here in Trim, and there's great work being done. There's huge numbers turning up, so it's only positive now. And now that they have these younger girls will have this team to look at and look up to, and hopefully they can go one step further.
Well, that's what we say. You know, John was flagging earlier on why we were late. I was out with the under 8s, and we had 28 players for an under 8 game against St Ultans. So, you know, you bring 28 players for half an hour's football, and it's great to see it. And the likes of Trav Kenny and Stephen Farrell are doing it at under 9 and under 10 level, and there's other lads that are doing it then at 12s and 14s, and it's good to get everybody working together.
Okay, we're just going to take a little break here, and we're going to work our way over towards the Trim dugout and see if we can get a word with some of the Trim management and players.
go over to him, Rory.
Yeah, you loosen me out.
Yeah, give me more. Okay.
No. Are we on live? Are we? Okay. We're just over here with the victorious trim dugout. John, you might just pan the camera around there. Have a look there. Great excitement here on the sideline with the Trim girls. So, John, you finally got there. I think that's the historic first time that you've made it to a championship final with the Trim ladies adults team.
Yeah, we're the girls. They've been knocking on the door for a few years. As people will know, we've been trying to build an adult ladies team here in the club for the last probably 5 years, and it was difficult to do because we had to do it with very young players. So in the past, the girls that are now leading this team would have been playing at 14, 15 years of age against established adult players, and it was very, very difficult. So this night's been a long time coming for them, and they've made the breakthrough tonight because they've been in several semi-finals and came up short. Matches that they probably should have won, and they came up short. So we're delighted for them tonight because it is, it's a psychological thing for a player and for a team when you don't have older ladies that you had to look up to. It's a big breakthrough for them to actually win a semi-final, and we're delighted for them.
Yeah, we refer to that in commentary. I know that you've always mentioned about this team being the pioneers for the club, and I think it was fantastic to see. And you mentioned it to me last night when I spoke to you. You mentioned to me to look out for the left-hand side of your team, with Sophie Purcell, Aoife Slattery, and Avian Short, and then Katie Newman. Then on the inside, she's a little bit older than those other girls, but they were superb, those players tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've always said to them, even when they were young, that it's a new team within the club, and we've always said that you set your own standards, and that it's up to them to decide what standards they are. And the older girls, I think, have set a very high standard, and the young girls have thrived on that because they know that they really have to up their game to get a position on the team. And again, this is the first time that the 15 players we had out there were as solid as a rock, but we had another maybe 10 on the bench that could step in at any time if needs be. But that's what you needed. That's what was lacking when we started. They had no one to look up to. But now these young players have the likes of Kate Dunn, Shona, Rachel McCormick, Isabel Varley, great players to look up to, and they were magnificent tonight. And that when you're a young player, that's what helps you. That's how we all develop. You come into a wing back or corner back, and you get a chance to blood yourself at adult level. And it was great to see how well they played. Avian Short, all the way up there, Sophie Purcell, Aoife Slattery, Avian Short, they were absolutely magnificent on that left wing, Rory.
And you had to do it the hard way. 3 points down at half time. Senchlestown had missed a penalty. Jodie had pulled off a great save.
That's right.
There was a bit of a breeze to your advantage in the second half, but you started really, really strong in the second half. What did you say to the players at half time?
Well, I suppose we don't make things easy on ourselves, and as you'll know, Rory, when we started the season I had a full head of hair and these girls really do it so difficult that I've hardly any hair left tonight, Rory.
Well, I just can't wait to see you after the final, John.
Well, people will know that it's difficult to get into a final, and people who were here last year over in Slane, like last year it was terrible. We got a goal right at the end of the match to win the match, and when the goalie kicked it out, it was called back and they disallowed it, and we thought it was a terrible gut wrencher. So it's great to see the same bunch of girls get away tonight. And also this year, people probably don't realise it, but two of our stronger players was Emer Ferry and Sarah Lynch, one in defence, one up front, and they kind of carried the team in many matches in the past, and the two of them picked up nasty injuries this year, and they're probably out for the season. So we've done it even with that disadvantage. It's great character that the rest of the girls didn't fold, and they dug in even though they'd lost two strong players, and that's what was so brilliant with the young players coming up. They just filled in, and it was a seamless transition.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very noticeable, I think, the contribution of the young players this evening. Katie Newman on the frees, was that you'd been chopping and changing your free taker in earlier rounds, John, but Katie was very solid this evening. Yeah,
well, I mean, Katie, again, from a very young age, she does certain things that you can't coach. She's a natural player and she's a confidence player. But when Katie's on her game, she's a superb player, and she's a very accurate kicker. We do have other very good kickers as well, but we just left it to Katie, and I thought she was very good on the frees.
Very good. Any idea when the final is yet? Any idea yet?
The final is on the 12th of September. And I've just heard we think that Kilbride are the opposition. We think Kilbride just beat Colmkills tonight. So again, that's interesting because that means that there's 2 first teams. So like Colmkills and Senchlestown will be B teams. Kilbride are like ourselves, they're a young team on the way up.
And you had a good look at Kilbride, of course, in your opening round here, played here in Trim.
Yeah, we played against Kilbride and we were well ahead, and they came back and beat us. So it's going to be a tough one, but at least it's two new teams in adult ladies football. So there'll be a novelty to that. It'll be a big occasion for both teams. So hopefully we'll have a packed house, Rory.
You might even get a new tracksuit, John. What do you think?
I'm going to get a hair transplant.
We're just trying to get Kate done. Maybe to say a few words to us here. Kate, this is the modern world now. You get interviewed on the pitch in Trim. Excellent, you must be delighted.
Absolutely delighted. I think we really deserve it. Like, we've put 10 years of hard work into this now, and I'm just delighted for the girls, delighted for everybody that got into it. And John and Peter have put in so much work with us this year, and it was a really tough year, I think, for everybody. And I'm just so happy that we're getting this far, and we're going to fucking win it now.
on a personal level, you had a right battle out there with Ruth Commons. She was the go-to player for Senchlestown. They seemed to try to channel all the play through her.
Yeah. She's a strong girl. I struggled with her a bit, but they were feeding the ball to her, but she was feeding it off to everyone else, so I was kind of holding back, waiting for runners to come through, kind of working it that way because she was much bigger than me. But I held my own. First half I kind of had to get a bit used to it, but in the end, sure, look, it worked out.
A new position for you this year, full back with Emer being out injured. How are you finding that?
Yeah, no, it took a bit of getting used to, kind of finding my feet now. It's weird to be that close in on goal. I feel like the responsibility is a lot more on me. I always had Emer behind me, could always rely on her behind me, but yeah, no, it is different, but getting used to it, waiting for Emer, just holding it for her.
Anyway, great to see the young girls as well contributed greatly. We spoke to John about the young girls down the left hand side, Sophie and Aoife Slattery and Avi, and they were superb. And not just picking them out, essentially it was a real all round performance. I thought they were excellent, but those young girls, it's great to see them coming on.
Definitely, like, they've made such a difference, I think, in the team, especially Jodie Levy as well.
Of course,
just phenomenal. She's probably one of the best players we've ever had in Trim. Right. She's a phenomenal player, and I think they've just made a real difference in the team. And even on the bench, like, we used to be carrying 3 or 4 subs, and they'd be playing in random positions, but now we nearly have a sub for every position. So if anyone's hurt, like, we have a proper girl who goes into her proper position, and we're ready to go, I think.
Well, there's going to be a couple of weeks of hard training ahead now. Mr. Ferry here licking his lips. He's going to have you running up mountains. He's probably being into Donegal for a training camp or something, John.
Yeah, well, I think we might go to a warmer climate, but I think COVID's put a stop to that, so we'll stay local. But anyway, look, it's a good night for us, and it's a good night for the club, and I suppose the year that's in it with the lockdown and everything else is a trying time for everyone. And even these girls, they've been off school and college since March. Very unusual circumstances. But the unique thing about it is that none of them are away, so they're all together. So that itself is a great experience for them. They've grown up together, and they're all here for this summer. So it'll be magnificent now if they could go on and finish it off. But even the fact that they're in the final, it's a nice lift for them and for the club and for Trim.
Absolutely. Well done, John. Well done, Kate. And the very best of luck in the final, and we hope to see you there. And we think we'll sign off there, John, this evening. Just to sum up the final score here, Trim winning by 3 points in the end in a nail-biting finish. Senchlestown had many options near the end. Just the weekend coverage coming up. It's a hurling weekend, and I think we're going to be showing the Trim Intermediate hurling match here at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, Trim versus Kiltale. The senior game is on at 1:30 from Park Tolchin, Trim versus Longwood, and that game will be on Meath GEA TV, so you have to pay to see that one. But other than that, we'll sign off here from a very, very happy St Lomans Park. Good night and thank you.